Who is the best and the greatest Premier League captain of all time? That's what we're here debating tonight. That's what we're here tiering tonight. Who is going to make it into the GOAT tier? Who are the leader legends? Who are the good leaders? Who are overrated? And who underachieved as a Premier League captain? I want your thoughts. I want your feelings. You know the rules when it comes to them super chats. You know, you're supporting the Football Terrace as always. So much gratitude for that. I got an amazing, amazing panel tonight. Man like Tade is here, ready to do his thing. We got Daniel. The curtain isn't here tonight. He's away, ladies and gentlemen, away. Not too sure where, not too sure with whom, but he is away. He's with us. Man like Danny, Devil in the Details, is here with the biggest sofa in the history of sofas. Man, look like a borrower on that sofa. If you never watched The Borrowers, you won't get the reference, but we all watched it here. Smash that like and that share button. We're jumping straight into it. Here we go. Yes, 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 gentlemen. How are you all doing? Good. Thanks for having me. Yeah, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Really up for this debate. I think this is going to be a fun debate tonight. I think this is going to be a really, really good debate tonight. I mean, the chat's been popping off for about 3 hours now. All different names getting mentioned. Remember the rules, ladies and gents. Up or down any position, £5. Anywhere you want on the board for 20. If you want to create a new tier, something crazy, it's 50 or over. The reason for those charges, as we always explain, is to pay homage to the people that previously, the viewers that created those payment tiers. We didn't create them. They weren't our idea. They were yours. It's your way of supporting the Football Terrace. We're going to jump straight into this. Some rules of engagement, though, ladies and gentlemen. So Premier League and Champions League performances count. League Cup, FA Cup, internationals are out the door. We are looking at their leadership quality. We are looking at their clutch performances. We are looking at what they achieved for their football club. Those are the three main ingredients when it comes to this debate tonight. Anyone can make it. Only one player in the GOAT, because you can't have a greatest of all time Premier League captain, like 3 or 4 of them. It doesn't make sense. You're not the greatest if there's 4 of you. Like, you're just one of many. Do you know what I mean? So that's what the rules are tonight. We're going to jump straight into it. I'm going to go to Daniel first. And Daniel, I'm giving you a nice, easy one to start with. Neville. Phil Neville.
If I'm honest, he shouldn't really be on this list. But hey, he doesn't. His category isn't there. His category isn't there.
What's the category? What is it?
What do you mean his category isn't there?
As in, like, he's obviously not the GOAT. He's not a leader legend type figure. Good leader, like we'd literally say, you'd say every captain who's been given the armband is relatively a good leader. So that just makes that category generic, and we don't want to do that. We want to give them definitive categories. He's not overrated. I think he's fairly rated. And he didn't underachieve because I never expected him to do anything as captain of Everton. So I think he's categoryless, if that's a word.
Oh,
just leave him.
How can you not have a category?
He's categoryless. Think about it. Like he doesn't fit into anything.
Really?
Do you know what I'd say?
This guy, let me just say something, right? Listen, you need to consider the team he's played for. He's played for Manchester United. He's played for Everton. Obviously, you didn't expect Everton to win a Champions League or to, I don't know, get to number 1, 2, 3, 4. But he got to he got Everton to is it 4th? I think 5th position with Everton. So that's something. I mean, and this is Everton we're talking about. Do you know what I mean?
I'd argue the other way and say David Moyes was more responsible.
Than not Phil Neville, definitely.
Yeah.
Boy, you need a leader and a captain.
He's a good leader, though. Like, he's just a good leader. That's okay.
There is a reason why this guy became the coach of the women's team. There's a leadership quality in there. No, seriously, you can't take that away from him. There is a leadership quality in there.
That's a good joke. That's a funny joke.
What's the trick, though?
You know, it's interesting. None of it. I would say, like, Aston Villa, Everton fans really like and rave about him. I actually think he had a better career at Everton than he did Man United in terms of how he performed. He was one of the stars. He was one of the leaders. He was one of the orchestrators. He was the big fish in the smaller pond. But I think he goes into like good. But this is Daniel's voting, and Daniel has put Phil Jones. I'm sorry, Fizzer. categoryless. Categoryless here. I can't believe first time ever football trace history. Man isn't even getting placed. Not even placed. Madness there.
No, we need to take this to court now. We need to dispute that, man. No, we need to fight for Phil Neville, man. We need to fight for Phil Neville. If it was me, I'll probably give him a good leader.
Yeah. Listen, there we go. I'm gonna go to you next, Tade. I'm gonna give you your first player on this list, Tade, and I'm giving you Wes Morgan.
Oh, that's a fantastic one. Wes Morgan. Let's think about Wes Morgan. Before Wes Morgan won the Premier League with Leicester, I'm pretty sure he himself never believed they were ever going to win the Premier League. If you go back to when they were actually putting a bet on them, I think it was 5,000 to 1. That was the odds against them. So that was something that in his entire life, I don't think he ever think he was ever going to achieve. And for them to go on and win it in the manner in which they did, I think they gave, how many gap difference between them and Arsenal? Was it 13 points? I think. I can't remember, 11 or 13 points. And the mannerism in which he actually led the team to do it, I will say that guy needs to be, I think I'm going to give him the second place. What's the name of that? Is it a leader's legend? What do you call that?
Leader legend. Yeah.
Leader legend.
Leader legend.
I will give him a leader legend simply because what he achieved with Leicester was something that I don't think is ever going to happen in my lifetime. That's the reason I'm going to give him that. Because it's easy for you to win when you're playing with very good players. It's easy for you to win when you're playing in a very good club with history. But this is a club that was battling relegation the previous season and then went on to win it the next season. That is something that is never going to happen again in my lifetime.
You just countered your own argument, though, in my opinion.
How?
As in the fact that how can you attribute the turnaround from relegation candidates to Premier League winners and attribute that to Wes Morgan when you've literally just said that turnaround happened in the space of a year? That's not Wes Morgan. Obviously, look, I'm not saying he's a bad leader.
Why do you think so?
I'm not saying he's a bad leader. I'm just saying to give him leader legend status is a bit of a stretch, considering you literally just said the year before he captained a side that was threatening relegation. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but it depends on what you're using as your yardstick. What I'm using as my yardstick is the fact that even he himself, no one ever believed that was ever going to happen. And I remember very well that season, he was an inspiration to every single player in that squad. I remember very well what he did for them. And it's never going to happen again. Never going to happen. Because we need to consider, when I'm giving ratings, I'm going to consider the team to play for, right? I need to consider that. If Wes Morgan was playing for, say, Manchester United, I probably wouldn't give him that status. But because he's playing for a team that is never going to achieve it.
Quick question, yeah. In that title-winning team, level of importance to their team, because I think captains are high in terms of level of importance to their team success, because a large reason why you're saying he's leader legend is because they won the league. In terms of that title-winning team,
not just that, though.
No, but where would you? But that's like the foundation of your argument, isn't it? The fact that they won the league. He wouldn't be in leader legend if they didn't win the league. So in terms of that title-winning team, where do you rank Wes Morgan as level of importance in terms of the players that are there, that in the starting lineup? So Kante, Mahrez, Vardy, Robert Huth, Kasper Schmeichel, Christian Fuchs, them guys. So
that's a very good question, because for me, I always base the backbone and importance of any team to the defense. That's me. That's one. I believe that if you have a strong defense, you have a strong foundation and you have a strong backbone. And he was in mess that season. He was absolutely out of this world. I remember very well he was like Kompany in that Leicester team that season. He was so important for them. He reminded me a lot about Terry when Terry was doing it for Chelsea back in the days. That was how I actually saw Wes Morgan. Unfortunately, old age and everything, he just went down the hill. But that's the only reason I'm giving him that. That's my reason. Yeah.
I think it's interesting. He was the captain of 1,000. For me, he was the captain of the only true underdog story in the Premier League era. I'm talking league wins here. Everybody else that won a Premier League was a very good team. You know, with squads worth at the time valued before the season began at hundreds of millions of pounds, with world-class managers or top-class managers. No, even like people might throw Blackburn in, yet kids will throw them in. You don't realize the money that Blackburn was spending back then in that era. It was colossal. They were not an underdog story. They were being spent. Money was being spent in the same way of City. So listen, he's been put in leader legend. Viewers can change it if they want. I'm sure they're not going to change it. We're on to Danny Devil in the detail next. Danny, I'm going to give you your first choice. I'm Sami Hyypiä.
Sami Hyypiä. Man United
Good luck.
Liverpool legends. Oh my God. You know what? Let me see the categories. First and foremost, let me talk about him as a player. I love players like him because his athleticism level is non-existent. I mean, if you think Harry Maguire turns like a fridge, then Hyypiä is a Titanic, right? No agility, no pace, not a fast twitch muscle in his body. Nothing but positional intelligence, determination, concentration levels. On Football Manager's 2020 is 20 out of 20 on everything that's important as a defender. Just an insane defender. As a Premier League captain, though, he's somebody that I would never think of. So with that logic, I have to say underrated. Because I would never think of him. If I was doing this list...
Underachieved, you mean?
Sorry, yeah, underachieved. Let's say underachieved because Liverpool never won a Premier League title. There are other factors involved in that. No one here won a league title by themselves. No one. But he could have been an important factor. Let me look at the list again. I might flip-flop on this one. Let me see it again. Let me see it. I need to... No, he's a good leader. I'm sorry, I can't put underachieved for him. He's a good leader. He's a good leader. Liverpool was, and when he was there, their defense was solid. I can question other aspects of that team, so I'll move him up to good leader. That's where he has to be.
Good leader. He's been put into that. Yeah, I would say good leader. He's actually a player that when you speak to Liverpool fans, he's so loved and respected, and that was through an era where, barring the occasional trophy, that they weren't very good, and they love him.
Oh, let me add this as well for historical context. Hyypiä was defender A, Carragher was B. Right, you may hear more about Carragher, but Hyypiä was the better defender. He was Rio Ferdinand, Carragher was Mikkel. So people understand.
I think that's a good shot. Really, I agree. I kind of agree with you on that one because I think they won some stuff. They didn't win the Premier League when he was captain. They did win some stuff. I don't know if it's a double or something like that.
He won a. He definitely was he there for the Champions League? He was definitely there for the Europa League that they won when it was cool.
No, it was there for Champions League, but it was not the captain then. Obviously, it was Gerrard.
He was there for the trophies with Gerrard Hyypiä. He was there for that. So.
Yeah. So back to Daniel now, and we're starting to get into nearly every player left on there is tasty. I'm going to give you though Dennis Wise.
I knew you. I had a feeling you were going to do that. I knew you.
93 to 2004, I believe he was your captain, something like that.
Yeah, before that as well, because Terry first got the first captain aside, I think in 2001. But no, Dennis Wise. Look, at the end of the day, I wouldn't say I watched him consistently at a level to really judge him fairly. However, from what I do know, from things that I've watched back and whatnot, I think he epitomized what the facade of a leader looked like. So the guy who would grab you by the throat and whatnot, the guy who would shout at you like, "Rah, you need to do this, you need to do that." But this is where, and obviously we spoke about it off stream where we didn't want to include it, but this is a situation where off the field antics obviously did affect and obviously transpired onto the picture. For example, you assaulted a taxi driver and got stripped of the captain's armband, I think under Glenn Hoddle at the time. And I'm not sure. Someone might be able to correct me in the comments or someone on here. But was he the captain of the FA Cup team? I don't even know if we're counting the FA Cup as part of.
I don't think you guys won anything with him as captain.
Yeah, so I don't even think he was the captain of the FA Cup team. Obviously, look, he had that, like, yeah, this is your leader type of thing. He had that persona of back in the day. However, the effectiveness of his leadership, as opposed to someone who had that same type, or people who had that same type of style, like Tony Adams and Roy Keane of that time, their effectiveness was by far greater. If you get what I'm saying.
I think as well, what needs to be factored in, kids in the kids listening or youngsters listening, are not going to get this. Chelsea were not in the 90s they weren't, but you brought in a lot of quality. If you actually go back and watch the Premier League years through the mid to late 90s, you had Desai's and LeBeufs and many other names.
He was there for that. He was there for the
He was a captain. Zola was. He was a captain. But every year, Chelsea for me were always the biggest underperformers year in, year out, with the quality of the squad, pound for pound, name for name, and he was the leader of that. And if we're going to elevate someone, and we're going to get onto the big boys later, that they made their great teams even greater. A team that consistently underachieves, you have to also look at the captain, surely.
Yes, he's underachieved.
Yeah. For example, now, cool. To be fair, someone in the chat has corrected me and said that he won. He was the leader when Chelsea won the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup. And obviously, we did say we're carrying European trophies, but obviously, we're not carrying the domestic ones. But I just think that in terms of like what you said, Terry, with the quality that we did have, it wasn't till the later generation, and possibly you could even argue till Roman came, until obviously we saw the real success and the real Chelsea as a big side in England and someone or a force to be reckoned with. So you can make the argument, I think, that maybe Chelsea, Dennis Wise as captain, underachieved.
And by the way, when John Terry talks about coming into that team, he doesn't talk about Dennis Wise a lot, from what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, the only story that comes up is when he bought the car. Dennis Wise grabbed him by his throat and was like, "Oh yeah, return it." And obviously Terry returned it, but he was. I feel like he was good. I feel like he was okay, but he underachieved for the quality of the team that Chelsea had and for the antics that he did have, where it did actually affect the
impact the team. Yeah.
He was out of place with that team as well. Like it just didn't. Like he was a throwback, and you can see where Chelsea were going. They wanted that continental flair and quality. And you've got this 90s hard nut and Dennis Wise in the team.
Yeah.
You were a great football player.
100%.
Yeah.
Tade, your next pick. And I'm giving you, it's starting to get hard already. Alan Shearer.
Pause.
Was it a captain at Blackburn?
No.
Does anyone know?
I want to say no. I don't think he was.
No, Tim Sherwood. Tim Sherwood was Blackburn's captain. Not
Tim Sherwood. Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm only going to judge this guy purely based on what he adds to the team. And I thought he did his job well as a striker. I don't know so much about how he motivates the players. I don't know so much about how he kind of inspires people. Obviously, he's doing his job by scoring the goals. And I think that's basically what I'm going to focus my attention on. So I will say the fact that he was doing his job as a goal scorer, as a striker, and he's topping the charts and the goals in England, and obviously he's loved by the English fans, he's loved by everybody in England. He's achieved a lot in England, apart from the fact that he's just won Premier League. I don't know, man. I would say good leader, man. I don't know if I want to give him legend. I don't know if I want to give him legend.
I agree with you. I don't think Shearer can go into legend. When he was the captain, he didn't win anything. He didn't win.
You just add to that as well. Newcastle were the biggest spenders on 4 occasions between 1992 and 2002. 4 occasions they were the biggest spenders. He's a goal scorer. No one talks about him as a leader. He was a goal scorer. He was a goal scorer.
Yeah.
He wasn't known for being a leader. So being even good leader, when you look at his reputation as a goal scorer and you balance it out, good leader, you're being nice to him a little bit, actually. You might, as a leader, he's probably overrated. Or maybe underachieved. I'll put him low. I won't even put him a good leader.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have put him in under as I'm looking at his Newcastle career. Like, honestly, I look at his Newcastle career. I'd love to interview him, and I've never really heard anybody say this to him, like put it on him in an interview. They've kind of always asked the question with a bit of a giggle, but I want to look him dead in the eyes and be like, I know you regret picking Newcastle over Man United. I know he regrets it. I still think he has sleepless nights. I think he sits there and he's like, why did I do that? Look at what Man United won without him. We would have won even more with him, in my opinion, because he just scored so many goals. But I mean, and then Ollie wouldn't be our manager now as well. Like, it would have been perfect. I'm joking, but you know what I mean? Like, honestly, I think he has sleepless nights over picking Newcastle. I think he publicly will never say that because he would never want to lose that base. Because basically, Newcastle fans, he's already a millionaire. But if he lost all his money tomorrow, Newcastle fans would help him out. Do you know what I mean? He'd do talks and book signings, and he'd be an ambassador, whatever. Like, he's always going to be fine. So he doesn't want to ruin that base. But I honestly think he regrets not going to Man United.
I agree. Well, I think I'm going to stick to good leader on this one. The simple reason is because, I mean, leadership is subjective, okay? I think you can see leadership in different forms. It could be the guy that backs at the rest of the teammates, like the likes of Roy Keane. I'm sure we're going to get to that later. It could be a leader that just does his job quietly by defending, tackling, or scoring goals. And I think he's a leader in the sense that he did his job by scoring the goals for the team. And that's his own way of inspiring them. So I'll just stick to that.
You are a very polite man. Danny, devil in the details. I'm coming to you next, and I'm giving you Tony Adams.
Okay. Right. So look, he's a leader legend, right? Let's just do that very, very quickly. And I'll explain why. For me, again, this is where you have to respect your OGs. He didn't get to play in the Premier League era properly because I think he was done by sort of 94, 95. He was from the previous era. He just happened to be around when the Premier League started. And the OGs that I respect tell me this guy was an amazing leader, probably a better leader than Patrick Vieira to a lot of the older Arsenal fans. So there's no Arsenal fans on this panel, so I'm going to speak for the older ones that I grew up around because I grew up not too far from Hyypiä. He's a legend in the game. When people talk about Arsenal, when they talk about legends, best believe after Henry, they're talking about Tony Adams next, probably before they speak about Patrick Vieira. So for the young guys who don't know, similar to Sami Hyypiä, actually, again, no athleticism, but ridiculously strong. Like, you're bouncing off him and you're going to hurt yourself when you run into him. One of those type of defenders, tough tackler. And yeah, just a quintessential old school English centre-back that has to be a leader legend in this list for me. I have to give him respect.
Yeah, I think he does as well. I agree. And he's one of them defenders that could never make it in the modern day game, as in his ability, because he, passing out from the back, technical ability now, defenders needs to be so much higher. But that's what I love about Tony Adams and his ilk of player is that they were just what I used to call proper defenders. If you speak to strikers from that era, the Tony, they would kick 7 bells out of you throughout the course of the game. But then that was what was needed back then, because you could be more physical. And this is where people don't understand. Like, the game's only become more and more technical because you're not allowed to foul as much. If you were still allowed to kick lumps at people, that's what would happen still, because that used to stop the skill. That would stop the skillful players now. Like, it would, you know what I mean? If you could have your shins, but even as late as like 2003, 4, 5, you could still get away with a little bit. Go back to that famous game, Pizzagate, Man United Arsenal, to stop the run. The way the Neville brothers hurt
it was
Riaz, yeah, God rest his soul. The way they kicked him around, you were still just about able to get away with that now. And they ruined his day by kicking him about before they got booked. And yeah, that era kind of ended there in the early noughties. But no, I agree with where you put him. Daniel, to you next. And I'm going to give you, oh my God, Vincent Kompany.
Interesting. I want to hear this. It's going to be good.
By the way, I've made a new rule. 5 players maximum in Leader Legend.
Cool.
Terry, make it free. Make it free. Five's too many.
Okay, do you know what we'll do? We'll meet in the middle. We'll go 4. We'll go 4 because then we've got a top 5 with the GOAT. So okay, cool. We'll go 4 maximum in there. 4 maximum in there. Cool.
Yeah, man.
Use it wisely, Daniel.
Let me just look at the captains remaining in it.
Got to be strategic. You've got enough room in there.
Phil Jones is there if you want him still, mate.
Phil Neville.
Phil Neville's great.
Yeah. Considering that, whoa. To be fair, things are going to change though. I have my trump card and I know who I'm going to use it for. So, for now, but it might not go in my way. Should I be strategic about this?
Imagine sticking him underachieved, even in the Champions League, underachieved.
I can make the argument for anything. cool. I'm gonna put him in. No, do you know what? I'm gonna be deep. I'm gonna put him in leader legend. He is. No one could take it away from him. He is, man. He is.
Okay.
Shall I tell you why? Let me tell you why. Because one thing I always think about, and this is one of the intangibles that might not ever get spoken about when it comes to captains, is how you're remembered. How you're remembered is a huge thing. Like, yeah, we can talk about, let's take a deep dive into the stats, whether this guy really is this, and that. But Kompany's going to be remembered as one of the greatest Premier League captains of all time. He has his iconic moment, 2 iconic moments. The header against Man United, that was a huge moment in the title swing and how that shifted the title race. And the long-range shot against Leicester, like, that is unbelievable in the circumstances. One of the toughest title races we've seen in a while for the captain, a centre-back, to score a 30-yard screamer, top bins it in a game where Leicester really deserved to get a point out of it. And Man City had to win. I think Vincent Kompany has his iconic moments. He's seen as a leader. He's seen in high regard. Pep literally says that was his brain on the pitch. Obviously, I don't like going off of testimonials too much because they're never going to say a bad word about a player they like. But at the end of the day, he's someone who was the coach on the pitch. He was the manager on the pitch. He's a brain. He's intelligent. And he played the way he thought. Like, he had some rash moments. But which captain, which great player didn't have some rash moments? I think in terms of Man City as a club as well, I don't think they'll ever have a better captain as well than Vincent Kompany. Like, for a while, this generation, 10 years, 20 years, Vincent Kompany is the trailblazer. No one can take that away from him. Leader legend.
It wasn't for those iconic moments. That's what got me.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
That's what got me. It's the iconic moments. If it weren't for that, I would have said underachieved. He should have won more titles before Pep came, in my opinion. But
I mean, do you know what's interesting? Look, we're going to get to it all later, and when we use our trump cards, we can move someone and take someone out at the same time if the categories are full. What I will throw in about Vincent Kompany is no European success. So when we start getting down to the crux of this, and I'm just throwing it out there as an early side, because I get a trump card, although I'm not placing everything he did in the Prem. There are 3 or 4 more leaders that did more in the Prem alone, let alone what they did in European football. And that isn't being disrespectful, but that's just being really nitpicky. But we'll see where people get placed. We'll see what the audience have to say about this a little later. I'm back with Tade, and Tade, I'm giving you Cesar Azpilicueta.
Daniel.
Don't mention
I know Daniel.
name,
Daniel is gonna have his He's gonna have his microscope out for me here, man. Listen, I would have waited for this guy to retire first.
Let me just give my guy context. No. He's lifted the Europa League, the UEFA Super Cup, and the Champions League as Chelsea captain.
Listen, my guy, Daniel. I like
League this year.
Look, listen, my guy. I like Azpilicueta. I have him in my fantasy I've had him in my fantasy for the last 2 seasons, right? I love him, right? I just wanted to wait for him to finish first before giving him any sort of status. I will just go straight and say he's a good leader. I'm not gonna give him a leader or anything. He's a good leader. He's really a good leader. I felt Lampard almost killed his career by benching him at some point, and then obviously Tuchel has come back and brought him to the team and everything. He wins games sometimes. He's very dogged. He can play different positions. I think he's played in a wing back position sometimes. He's playing the centre back as well, in the 3 at the back. I like his attitude. I kind of like his dogged attitude. I like the way he carries himself, the way he inspires people. And for the mere fact that they bought him for how much? How much did you guys buy him for? 6 million or something? I can't remember now. It was very cheap. I think you're on mute. It was very cheap how much they bought him. So I think a good leader. I'm just going to say good leader. I like him. I really do like him.
I just want to add, he also... In the 9 years he's been at Chelsea, he hasn't had one error leading to a goal, and also the fact that he is one of the best. When Wan-Bissaka, because he over exaggerates his 1v1 defending with his long-legged tackle. When you talk about 1v1 defending, till this very, very moment, Cesar Azpilicueta is still one of the best in the world 1v1 defenders. No, look, this is no disrespect to AWB. Of course he's good. The spider, all of that.
Because he's shaking his head.
Look at him shaking. But Wan-Bissaka over exaggerates everything. Like, oh yeah, I want to have that. I want to
Stop
have
the
that.
hate, bruv. Listen,
No, he does. He does.
I've met you just because he's got legs for days, and you've got legs like Dopey from the Seven Dwarfs, bruv. Don't be hating on him, brother. That's not actually true.
I wouldn't use my
This man's got skills in his legs. Danny boy on doing kick ups in a very small space, very good. I would say, very good.
You already know, man, bro. I'm a baller. Oh, stop.
Chelsea win all of those trophies without him. He's overrated. I won't use my.
I don't think he's overrated, bro.
That's so sick.
I don't think he's overrated, man.
Wait, Taddy,
seriously.
Taddy, I've got him already. That's so sick. And so from you, Danny, as well, because if I will tell you right now with chess, Man United win every single trophy, without
Gary Neville. I agree.
Without
no,
Roy
what?
Keane.
No, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Yeah,
get out of here. Get out. Never cannot believe the blasphemy. Just because Cesar, many money.
Look. Wait, one sec. Let me just explain, bro. I'm not disrespecting Roy Keane because when it comes to this debate, there's only two people in the GOAT conversation. There's only two people in the GOAT conversation. And do you know what? I even say to people, obviously we're going to argue it on stream today, but I even say to people, look, if you have Roy Keane as the GOAT, I have no qualms about that. I fully get that. Like, that is even almost factual. However, the point is that argument about you can win without so and so, I don't think that should be used to either put someone above someone else because it works in different ways for different people. For example, Chelsea don't win certain trophies without John Terry. However, that doesn't put John Terry over Roy Keane because it works in his favor. It's a single thing.
It puts him over Aspie. That's the point. It's context.
No, but that's not the reason why it puts him over. That's not the reason why it puts him over Aspie.
I see a team that wins without that right back. The same way, by the way, I thought you were going to say Gary Neville. You went off the deep end with Roy Keane.
So you're telling me
easy.
So you're telling
every
me
single one of them. By the way, from 1992 to 2008, we win all those trophies without Gary Neville. Every single one.
So you're telling me, let me think. If it's so difficult to do it. Do you know what? Terry, Danny, I will even give you lot the platform. Give me a DM who was rivaling Roy Keane at the time. Just give me someone.
In the Premier League.
In the Premier League, yeah.
A DM? Why a DM?
Because obviously I'm talking about if they.
Oh, sorry, Roy Keane, yeah. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Gary.
He won a DM, but obviously you could say Roy
Keane.
Yeah.
No, the deepest
on the continent. Edgar Davids, which I'll get into. Effenberg will be one. So it's really the continent.
Vieira.
Competition.
Vieira.
Yeah, Vieira's the only one in the Premier League. That's it.
Vieira and him.
Dennis Wise.
Yeah, maybe Dennis Wise as well.
But you know what I would say? That you know what's different about that era, though? We didn't talk about midfielders like that. It was just you were a central midfielder. And that's why, like, nowadays, every central midfielder has got like a nuance. Like, well, no, you just used to play with two central midfielders and they did their job. Do you know what I mean? No one cared. Like,
quickly. Do Man United win everything that they do or that they did? Sorry, with Claude Makelele playing instead of Roy Keane.
No. What I mean is, there's two things. Sorry, Danny, to interject. There's two things on that. I don't want to do this now because we're going to get to Roy Keane later. We're kind of getting ahead of ourselves. Roy Keane's leadership skills were absolutely amazing. When you listen to we had great leaders already in that squad. Peter Schmeichel. We had some. I think I don't know the number, but I think at the time that Roy Keane was captain, we had something like 5 or 6 international captains always in that squad. So we had other great leaders. But all those people said he stood out above them. The reason we were so good and we were so dominant and we did trebles, a massive part of it was his leadership. But we'll get onto that a little bit later because we're doing the Roy Keane debate before he's even come up. Robbie Singh here says 7 a.m. here in Sydney. That comment on Keane woke me up. Send me whatever you are smoking. In relation to that, where are you actually placing? Brother's there doing his thing. That's got me thinking. I'm gonna go get my decanter now.
Oh God's sake!
I'm gonna get a drink now. I'm gonna get a drink. Where are you placing Cesar? Where are you placing him, bro?
I totally forgot. I'm the one rating him, right?
Yeah, you're the one.
I think it's I think
ain't you, Daddy?
Overrated.
Daniel went off on a tangent. I think I'll give him a good leader. Definitely, I'll give him a good leader. I like him. I think he's a good leader. I just think for me, I would always wait for these players to retire first before putting them in this pool. That's what I would do, really.
I totally get that. Remember, viewers, you've got all the brand new emojis available now. You've got the GOAT emoji, which I've just shared a few moments ago. You've got all the new club badge emojis. If you want to associate that with your club captain, you might want to use the GOAT emoji in the name. All members from as little as 99p a month can use the exclusive Football Terrace emojis that are out and about. Daniel just showed me that little bottle of Di Serrano there, and I might have to go and get my little decanter that's full of very nice whiskey. I've got a little taste for it now. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna go get that in a second. We are what we're doing today, ladies and gentlemen. In case you've just tuned in, is we are ranking the greatest ever Premier League captains. Rules are only one GOAT, only 4 players can be in leader legend. We're getting down to the real crux now. By the way, just in case anyone notices, Phil Neville's on the list because he was voted by one magazine in the top 15. He has not been classified. Daniel did not want to give him a section. Didn't even want to put him in overrated. Literally wanting to leave him out in the cold. That is where Phil Neville is right now. We're going to be adding a new member to the show right now. Ram is here with us. I knew Ram would turn up. I knew he would turn up because at the end of the day, because Gerrard's going to get spoken about really, really soon. He's here with us now to have his say on the show as well. Welcome. So I'm going to go straight to Ram. And Ram, I'm going to give you. I'm not giving it to Steven Gerrard. I'm not giving it to Gerrard. I'm going to give you Patrick Vieira.
Oh, make sure you give him a good rating, mate.
Oh. There's only 2 categories for this guy, I think. Can I see the list, please?
Yes.
Show him the list.
I'd have to go for. Oh, that's difficult. It's either the GOAT or leader or legend.
What?
Thank you very much.
Nah, Vieira's a colossus. Now I'll put him in leader legend. Leader legend.
Thank you.
He's a colossus.
Thank you.
A colossus of a midfielder.
Thank you.
Like, you have to put some respect on the guy, man.
Thank you very much.
He is a colossus of a midfielder. That Arsenal wish they had him.
Just to challenge
this team.
Just throw a curveball. He never led Arsenal to retaining a title. Does that count?
I'll be back.
I mean,
how is that going to count against him?
But then again, if you're looking at the overall context, I'm guessing you're counting like domestic titles, international trophies, and all that.
No, not international. It's just Premier League, Champions League for the most part. You can get.
Oh, okay.
It's domestic club level.
I mean, he got them to a milestone. He got them to an invincible, and he is widely talked about as one of the greatest ever midfielders to grace the game, let alone the Premier League. So he is a complete midfielder, can tackle, can pass, and very, very dominant. I think he needs to be spoken of as one of the best captains of all time in history.
And to add to that,
very quickly though, just so that Tade can tie it into what he's going to say though, I think what the curveball is, do you know what? I think I was maybe overreacting when I heard it, but I think what the curveball is that as a captain, he spent less years than some of the guys we're about to discuss about as captain. Bro, I think he became captain of Arsenal in 2001, 2002.
2001.
He then left Arsenal in 2004 or 2005.
2006.
But can't you say the impact he had as captain was paramount, and the impact that happened after he left was paramount as well.
That's what I was going to say.
Arsenal was never the same after he left.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say something quickly, just to add to what you've just said.
Sorry, go on.
If I can just say this quickly, right? The way I see Vieira, the impact of Vieira's absence in Arsenal is still being felt today, right? Since 2006. And that's how many years? 14, 15 years later. And it's very similar to the impact that was felt by Real Madrid from 2002 when Makelele left Real Madrid until they found a replacement in Real Madrid. It's the same impact in the sense that defensive midfield, they were shambolic for years until the likes of Mourinho came back and they got the likes of Xabi Alonso, etc. It was almost similar impact that Vieira had when he left Arsenal.
But Tade, even though I hear that is not an argument as to why he's one of the greatest.
Why is that not an argument? Tell me, why is that an argument?
I'll explain. Oh, Danny, I don't know if you want to take
it. What I'm going to say is this, because I'm going to leave it for now, Danny. What I'm going to say is this, When we have to squeeze other people in that legend,
Exactly.
you're going to hear the ones we're making then. You're not hearing them now, you'll hear them in 5 minutes.
Do you know what? Yeah. I'll wait because, do you know what? Let me wait.
Just wait, Daniel. It's better later.
Yeah.
We have a super chat. We have a super chat here that wants to move Aspie up a level. We'll do all.
So did Alvaro Arbeloa won everything as well.
One second, guys. When I'm doing this stuff, please. We will move the players around by super chats at the end. I'm making a note of who, what, and there. So thank you very much for that donation. Just want to get our ratings out the way, then we'll do the movements a little bit later. So thank you, and thank you to Carl Pack for becoming an Academy member of the Terrace. So I've put him into the League of Legends as it is of now. Next, I'm going to go to Danny Devil in the details, actually, because I went from Tele to Ram, and I'm going to give you Steve Bruce.
Oh, Steve Bruce. Okay. This is easy. He's a good leader. Again, I like the fact, especially for the younger guys, that we've got these old school defenders in here again. No flair. He wouldn't excite you, but just a big, strong, a beast in the air. Good defender, good leader during the early stages of Sir Alex Ferguson laying foundations for the better teams that he built after Steve Bruce. But foundations had to be laid. Bruce was a part of that. So he's a good leader. No doubt about that. Good manager as well.
Yeah. Just interesting with Brucey is like compared to like a Kompany, a Patrick Vieira, technically he's a footballer, not as good, no doubt. But he still achieved things which like most of these captains in here didn't. Back-to-back league titles. And Man United's, I think, first ever double. And maybe even still the captain, or I need to do my history, might have been, did the double. So did 2 doubles and back-to-back league titles.
I think Cantona was the captain the second
time. He might have been the captain by the end. So I need to get my fact right. But he definitely did the back-to-back Prems. He's got one of the most, like his head, them 2 headers. And he also had a season. And I'm not going to put him into League of Legends. I think there's too many people that are above him. There's 3 Man United captains that, in my opinion, are above him. So it's like, it's.
Do you know what I'd say though? An older fan could have him above Kompany. That's why I weren't having Kompany in the legend status when there's only 4 spaces. Like I don't have the memory.
No, I do get that.
I was like,
I think he's in a good space there. I think he's in a good space.
But yeah,
Daniel, back with you, bro. I'm giving you Gary Neville.
I think just to have the categories.
Yo, Daniel, can I hijack this?
1 second, I'll put the category back.
Oh, my guy was stunned, man. He was like,
talk to me about Gary Neville. Talk to me about him.
I think Gary Neville was model of consistency, like someone especially in a Man United team that was so littered with quality players. He was literally the ever present that never got any of the headlines. He just did his job, tapped in his shirt, like he tried to get on with it. I think ability wise, he was a bit limited. I understand why people have him in their PL teams of all time, but I do think he's the benefit of, or a beneficiary of, being part of Man United, if that makes sense. The Man United tradition, the Man United culture and everything. Look, I'm not taking that away from him, but I think he benefits off of it more than other players whose ability would have led them to winning things with other teams, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense anyway. So, look, I think Gary Neville is...
Phil Neville's been put into GOAT. Phil Neville's been put into GOAT by Robbie. It's happened, ladies and gentlemen. We will do that one before here. Football fan zone here. Sorry, it says new legend member here. Love the channel. Smash the like button, people. P.S. Aspie has to be in leader legend. Right. Interestingly, we will update that. It's 2 donations now for him to be in that level. And he went, we knew you meant Phil. I knew you meant Phil when you wrote Neville in there. So I hear what you're saying there, Dan. Like, I don't know what you think about this, Daniel. I love Gary Neville, by the way. I think he's a better pundit than he was a right back, even though he was one of the best in the league. It's going to sound like I do. I think he's like everybody wants to be a pundit like Gary Neville now. No one wanted to be a right back like him. But I feel like he was the leader because of he was the leader for a very short period of time between Keane and Vidic taking over. And it was just because Vidic weren't ready to be the leader at that. Does that make sense? It was like he wasn't even. And I sound harsh. Yeah.
I could go a step further.
Yeah, go on.
Go a step further. You're being nice about it. He wasn't a leader when proper men were in that dressing room. Yeah, from a previous generation.
That's true.
When Peter Schmeichel and Roy Keane was there, Roy Keane did this on Sky Sports, by the way. When people tried to pick up Gary Neville, he looked at him and said, "Not when me and Schmeichel were around." No, he wasn't. He was a leader during a transition from the old guard to the new guard type of men. Listen, Leo Ferdinand, Vidic, and Evra were more important than Gary Neville in that team as leaders.
Can I ask a question though? Why was he the vice captain then?
Overrated.
Why was he the vice captain then?
Captain. So he was the main captain.
No. He was a vice captain, wasn't he? Before he was a vice captain before he was handed over the captain handband.
Well, he
was a vice captain in Manchester United.
Wasn't he there the longest?
Very simple. He was part of the
Sorry?
furniture. He was part of the furniture, a top professional.
Oh, that's harsh.
He was an example of what you need to do to get basically he wasn't talented enough, right? But somehow he got in that Man United team and contributed because he got everything out of himself. So amazing professional. So the question I have overrated. The question I have now is, what is our yards? I think everyone has got different yardstick of captains, of what a captain is. So
let's understand that because if you're saying someone is a professional, that can actually be a very good reason why a coach will look at him and say, this is someone everyone needs to learn from, and I'm going to give him the captain's handband because everyone should learn the professionalism from him. So there are different yardsticks to this. You see where I'm coming from?
Our response to that would be this. In the context of that team that he captained for a short period because he was injured a lot, by the way. He was injured when we retained the title. He was injured when we got the Champions League. He was injured when we won the third league title in a row. He was absent from those. From in the games. The leadership in games and on the training field was from the likes of Rio, Vidic, and Evra during that period. That's why I'm saying he's an overrated captain.
Yeah, Danny's right in that. In the success Man United had, which is a big part of our yardstick for everybody, when he was captain, he was the club captain, but he wasn't leading on the field of play because I think it was late in 2206 or 07 where he badly hurt his ankles. And from that point, he barely played for Man United again in all intents and purposes. It was like Wes Brown in the 07-08 season. It was O'Shea in the 08-09 season that predominantly played at right back. He just, he didn't play again. So I think as a lead, so I think people have got to understand what I'm saying as well about him. As a Man United player, best right back the club has ever had, ever. Like, that's Man United Football Club, best right back we've had. As a leader, and we're just looking at his captain side of things, I would actually put him into overrated, legit. But Danny, where are you placing him, bro?
No, that's where I had him still. And
overrated. Sorry, I must have missed that.
So obviously, in reference to what Tade said, very quickly, yardstick. I actually think the debate is when we're trying to shift people around. Obviously, because that then becomes a more direct comparison between each player, if that makes sense.
I totally agree. Back to you now, Ram. We're down to the final four now. So there's one left each. This is going to get...
It's me. I think it's me next.
No, it's Tade.
It's Tade.
Tade then. It doesn't matter who. Yeah. I know who I'm giving you all. Tade, I'm giving you John Terry.
Ooh, how many people can be in a legend? 5.
Four.
Oh,
there's no more space because of Daniel.
And GOAT?
1. And Phil Neville's in there.
It's because of Tade.
That late reaction.
Tade put Wes Morgan in leader legend.
Yeah, that was a big mistake.
Wait, what?
It wasn't a big mistake. I stand by it.
One sec, guys. If you guys as a collective vote someone out, we can vote someone out and put someone else in.
Oh, come on, guys.
Democracy.
It has to be in there, Wes Morgan, but we're going to get to that. Listen, it has to be good leader. Unfortunately, there's no space. This guy has to be... No. I mean, I can't... No, what I'm saying is I can't take him out. I can't take anyone out, can I?
I mean, Daniel, come on.
He has to be in the leader legend.
He's not a nice guy, is he?
Wait.
No, guys. Let's get this straight, yeah? He has to be in leader legend, right? But I can't take anyone out.
We can help you. Should we vote?
We can help you.
You want some help?
Don't take Wes Morgan out.
I'm gonna super.
Okay, you know what? Let's do it this way. Let's do it this way, yeah. Because when I put Wes Morgan, obviously I didn't. It's not in relation to every other person, right? So can you take Wes Morgan out and put John Terry in there?
Yeah, because you placed him. So John Terry has been put into leader legend. So interestingly, what I want to throw in, you wouldn't put John Terry as the greatest captain. You wouldn't put him into that.
He's better than all your captains.
So this is the thing, right? This is the thing, Terry. My hands are tied. This is the problem. You're putting a limit. Listen. Hang on a minute.
He's not saying that.
No. Hang on. Let me land.
In your opinion,
let me land.
John Terry, one sec.
Let me land.
Answer my question. In your opinion, is John Terry in the conversation for the GOAT of forget the
100%. 100%.
That's all we were making.
100%.
That's all.
However, this decision I'm making right now is in relation to other players. This is the problem. And now he's not put a limit in all these slots.
But
well, listen, hang on. But there's always a limit. There's always a limit, right? One team can win the Premier League each year. So it is. Only one person can win this debate. Only one person can be number one. Only 4 people can be in leader legend. And it's for you to say where you think the person should be. You might not want to, like, if you don't think he's the GOAT, say he's not the GOAT. Say it with chest.
So if I'm gonna pick the GOATs right now, yeah. If I'm gonna pick the GOATs right now, yeah. Imagine I have like 3 slots in the GOATs, right? It's gonna be Roy Keane for me. It's going to be John Terry for me, and one more person. It has to be Kompany. No, it has to be Kompany for me. Gerrard never won in the Premier League. I'm sorry.
They're your 3. We're not going to debate any of this, but if you had to take that 3 and turn it into 1, when 3 become 1, who are you picking?
I'll say Roy Keane.
Right, so there we go. So back to my original question. You don't think John Terry's a GOAT?
No, I think he is a GOAT. Come on now. You guys are confusing my brain, for God's sake.
No, there's only one GOAT. There's only one GOAT. Robbie here with a super chat says, Gary is the type of personality in the dressing room that Arsenal would love to have now. Terry, Rafa, as in me, I think Terry, Raphael was not too bad at right back. For Danny, for Dan, Terry, overrated. Apologies. Could not wait for the Keane comment. I hear you. I hear what you're saying there. My man Robbie. Right, we're going to move forward here. We're going to get down to the debate. And the trump cards are where this is going to get really fun. So, Ram, I'm giving you Vidic. Nemanja Vidic.
I'd say I'll put him in good leader. I'll put Vidic in good leader. I think the time he was there, when he first joined, he wasn't the main guy, the main captain, should I say, when he first joined. But when he sort of took on the armband, he I think his performances when he took the armband sort of dipped after a while. I think he started to become a lot more rash. I knew he was always an aggressive defender, but his decision making wasn't that good as it used to be. And I think as soon as he took down that armband, he was no longer world class anymore. So I'd just say good leader.
Liverpool fans, the disrespect.
What? No, I mean, like when he took the captain's armband, he was not the Vidic that we all
can't help yourself, man. Liverpool fans can't help yourself. He was.
Oh, Danny, you got muted there. Your thing muted.
Sorry, I was just saying, he was in decline. Let's just say that he wasn't his best anymore. Be nice about it, Ram. Jesus, man, you Liverpool fans. Give me Steven Gerrard, please. Please give. I dare you. I dare you to give me Steven Gerrard.
I dare you to give me Stevie G, man.
Do you know the interesting thing about Vidic? Vidic, what?
He was better without the armband.
Yeah, he wasn't the captain for like the 3P and the Champions League in one of the greatest eras, not just the Man United. Like, people got to remember that 3P with the Champions League often doesn't get. I get so offended as a Man United fan how that little mini era of our club doesn't get discussed like the treble period. We were better than
United's greatest ever Premier League team.
Yeah, but he wasn't the captain, but he was the leader. And it was what he did in those 3 years that led to him getting the armband when Gary Neville kind of moved on. But I do get your point that he wasn't the official captain then, and we are talking about the official captains at that point. So you put him in good leader. Robbie here says, sorry for the confusion. That was a request to put Terry in overrated. So Terry can't go into overrated, but he can go down one category because of that super chat into good leader, which means leader legend has a slot open. Robbie has opened. He has opened the slots for this to be done. That has been done and dusted. We have another one here that says Terry is the GOAT. No debate. So Terry goes back up again because of that £5 donation. And we are back where we started.
Remember, there were two fivers on Azpi, so that puts him in the GOAT.
I'm gonna be he got two. They both asked for it to be leader legend, which means he goes in there, but it's gonna £10 to get him out. But we're gonna do that later because that's more fun. Strategic. Everyone knows the score. Having a laugh, donating to the terrace. Right, Daniel, your last pick. No, you're gonna. Yeah, that's right. Danny, Devil in the Details. Your last pick, Roy Keane.
Oh, that's easy money. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. All right, I've been waiting for this. I'm going to enjoy this because just as a captain, right? So we're talking about periods, right? He was injured in the 1997 season. Comes back the following season, helps us retain the title, right? I have to talk about the Champions League because Daniel asked before about, in the Premier League, who was there to compete with Roy Keane. Don't worry about that. He was doing battle in the Champions League. And when we won the treble, everybody knows, yellow card, we're 2-0 down. Who's he going toe-to-toe with in midfield? He's going toe-to-toe with Edgar Davids, one of the best in the world at the time. Comes up with that header. From there, with good money, he recovered the game 3-2. We're in the final. His contribution to us getting to that final is not just the header. If you remember the game, and I remember the game because I've watched it several times. I watched a bit of it tonight as well, actually. He dominated the midfield when we needed to. When you talk about getting a team out of the mud, when you talk about his playmaking, right? Back in those days, you were just a central midfielder. You could get the ball. Yes, we had Paul Scholes, but trust me, when Paul Scholes weren't delivering, when Beckham weren't doing it, when Giggs weren't doing it, albeit rare, Roy Keane would take the game. He'd play make, he'd pass, he'd do what needed to be done. Premier League from 97 to 2005 when he was captain, 5 Premier League titles, PFA Team of the Year in 2000, other accolades. And when he went toe-to-toe with players more talented, Vieira was a better football player than Roy Keane. Much better football player. But you couldn't tell that much when they played against each other because Roy Keane's willpower, what he had in here, put him up against more talented football players. So by far, not even close. You're talking about a leader of men. Do you know what it takes to lead Peter Schmeichel? Do you think John Terry could lead Peter Schmeichel or Vidic or any of the guys in the left could lead him?
You know what's interesting about Roy Keane as well?
Sorry,
do you know what
goes on, Terry?
Do you know what goes against Roy Keane? What goes against Roy Keane is that some of his most famous moments are him getting sent off and hurting people. And it overshadowed. Like, I know it doesn't sound very. I'm probably going to get cancelled for this. I'm probably about to be cancelled right now. I'm not saying what he did to Haaland's dad. I always forget his name. Right, was right. I don't condone it. I don't think it's pretty to watch. But there's this part of me that I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the working class man in me that respected it to a certain degree. And what I mean by that is, you get sent off in football for touching someone's face. So why don't you just punch them full pelt in the face? It's the same banning. I can't stand the sort of like the wannabe hard man. If you want to be an hard man, be an hard man. I respect you more for going the whole hog than pretending to be one. I don't know why. There's something about it where I'm like, oh, another pretender. Like Jerry Barton, I couldn't stand him. When he got sent off against City and then he just started laying them all out, I was like, get your money. It's like this. I'll give you an example. What I mean is this. You're speeding, you get flashed by the speed camera, and then you slow down. Why? You've been caught. Keep going. It doesn't make sense. You're going 40, you've been flashed, just keep going at 40. You're done now. Like it's but then you slow down and then you drive sensibly. You're like, I'm already getting the points. Keep going. And I'm not saying it's right what he did. That's not what I mean at all. But those moments for Roy Keane sometimes overshadow the brilliant footballer he was. That performance in the semi-final against Juventus was absolutely massive. Some of the performances in Manchester derbies, absolutely huge. But the biggest performance that stands out for me was his play, but his leadership. At Highbury, 4-2 victory to Manchester United. Because what he did, that was the beginning of the end. That was the beginning of the end for things for Arsenal Football Club. Roy Keane started the demise of your club because he turned Patrick Vieira into a shrinking violet. And I'll go back to my original point about the hard man thing. It wasn't an act. Patrick Vieira realized, me and him have been like pushing each other and squaring up for 4 or 5 years. He's actually just put it on me. And Vieira pooped his pants and realized, I don't actually want to fight you. I thought this was WWE wrestling. Like he shit himself because he realized Keane was an actual hard man. That's what goes against Roy Keane. People just look at him as a thug. They forget the brilliant footballer that he was as well. Like, I feel sorry for him. I think I would put him as the GOAT. I don't get a vote though. Danny's put him in that category.
He's a GOAT. And by the way, it doesn't overshadow anything because it was part of who he was, but he could play football as well. He could play. There's no one on this list that is a better leader than him. No one. Nobody. And again, we lived through this, so the context.
And I hear that. I've got some super chats I've got to go to real soon because we're going to get into more debate in a minute.
In this era of Man United fans who complain about the football that we played, the amount of times, even with that 99 team, when we weren't playing well, the cross from Beckham didn't come, when Giggs weren't dribbling past people, when York and Keane, it was Keane. Every other week, it was Roy Keane. I remember this. This was my childhood. Listen, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Make no mistake about it. I'm done. I'm sure Daniel will distragree. Try and put sneak G&T in there, but nah, I do hear you. I've actually had a brilliant super chat from man like Brandon, best singer on the channel. Says best ever Premier League captain, Jacker. I love it. I absolutely love it. Final placement goes to Daniel. Then we get our trump cards. I have seen everybody's super chats. Robbie super chats. The John Terry super chat. I've seen all of them. We'll put them all into order and recalibrate. I've seen them, but all I'm going to say is this, because I can do them now if we want to, because Gerrard's next. £20 was put in by Robbie. I missed it to put John Terry into overrated. He can move him anywhere. There's been £10 come in from two different people, £5 each to put him into GOAT, but it's going to cost £20 to get him out of overrated. So there's a £10 bounty on his head to get him out. So if you want John Terry out of overrated, it's a minimum of £10. And that's just to move him up one category. So you know what you've got to do there, people. Now, remember, it's all a bit of fun on the football terrace. This is how you donate to us. This is how you support us. It's all a little bit of fun. If you can afford it, great. If you can't, please do not super chat. Don't spend your rent money. Don't spend your bill money. If you've got to feed kids in the morning, do not spend it on the terrace. But if you're a little bit flush and you want to put some money in, I'm not going to say no. It's a lovely donation. Roy Keane would have won the World Cup if he was English. Thankfully, he's not. It's what James Fitzgerald says. But. Daniel, final pick with you. Steven Gerrard, where does he go?
It's easy. It's very easy. Look, Steven Gerrard, that brother, he's a lovely lad. Lovely lad.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
He's a lovely lad. Lovely.
We know. We've heard you several times. Say it.
5,000 cuts, bro. Just say it, man. Where are you going to put him?
He's in the capital O category.
What?
I'm joking. I think he's in. I honestly believe he's in underachieved. And Liverpool fans will continue doing this song and dance and telling you this cock and bull story about they didn't have the team to win. They didn't have stop it, man. I'm tired of hearing it because there were legitimate chances to win. And obviously, yeah, cool. You might have heard it time and time again, the Gerrard slip and all of that. I don't even, to be fair, actually, I lied. I was going to say I don't crucify him for it, but I do. Liverpool should have won the league that year, no doubts about it. They had three opportunities, I think it was, to capitalize. They had 3 games, 3 chances, and they bottled all 3. So he bottled it. And also, I remember, I think in 2008, they gave Man United a good run. They actually beat Man United. I think they beat Man United home and away that season, and they still managed to bottle the league. Yeah, they still managed to bottle the league that year as well.
I think as well, Liverpool fans, Danny, sort of interject. Liverpool fans like to rewrite history. People forget the maths. If you look at the Premier League era up until, say, like 2014, they were still one of the biggest spenders.
Exactly.
Liverpool Football Club. And every single season, and I so wish social media existed, every Liverpool, we got this team this year. This is why it become laughable. Every year, it was their year. It's quite become a joke. It was a running joke. At the beginning of every season, you said how good your squad was, how good your team was. It was only hindsight after those players let you down, your leadership left you down, your manager let you down, your stars let you down. Did you say, actually, they weren't very good? But in that moment, in that time, you guys raved about them. We were winning. We were winning back-to-back titles, and Liverpool fans were still saying they're better players than us. Now suddenly, Gerrard played with shit. Mascherano and Alonso are shit.
Bro,
please tell me the defense that we had at that time.
Let me even add to that and say, yeah, I don't know, Ram, if you're probably younger than me, but bro, Liverpool were one of the teams that were feared. Bro, you can't be one of the best performing Champions League teams, one of the most revered teams in Europe, and not perform on a consistent basis in your league, or not have a time where you're guaranteed. Bro, there's no team in Champions League history. Let's go through it that didn't actually do well in their leagues as well. Liverpool, it wasn't a fluke. Like Liverpool in the Champions League wasn't a fluke. Year in, year out, Liverpool were competing with the best teams in the Champions League, but they couldn't do it in the league. And the league is where you really see what your team's made of. And as a captain, I believe Steven Gerrard underachieved leading that team. You're talking about the defense that you suddenly didn't have, but Hyypiä is one of the best defenders that we recognize. I mean, Jamie Carragher, in the eyes of many, is seen as a great defender or a goodish defender. I don't know. You had Pepe Reina, you had Jersey Duda. Bro, you talk about Alvaro Arbeloa. He moved to Real Madrid after. He still had a good career.
Did he play?
He won.
For Real
He
Madrid?
played.
Yes,
He played.
But did he
play
titles?
Consistently?
Yeah.
Spain afterwards as well. Didn't win Spain afterwards.
Look, there's been a 20 donation here. 20 donations. Sorry, Danny. To put him into overrated. So to get him out of overrated, Liverpool fans, it's going to cost you 20. It's going to cost 20 to get him out of that category there. Listen, someone in the comments is saying, Terry, you love rewriting history. You're the ones who are rewriting the history by pretending you didn't rave about these teams. Sami Hyypiä is a great example. He's on this list. He was there for a lot of Gerrard's career. And at the time, you guys, one of the best centre-backs, one of the best centre-backs. You always had one of the best goalkeepers. You always had some of the best. Everyone was good at the time.
You had Owen, you had Fowler, you had goal scorers.
Yeah, you always had good players.
Eras, though.
Sorry?
There's different eras, though.
What are you talking about?
Like, Fowler and Owen were in different stages in different teams. Like, it was never a complete team.
No, I understand that. And look, Fowler's pomp.
It's a team.
Robbie Fowler's pomp was before Gerrard. I get that. Like, he fizzled out so much. And we understand that. Someone here says, Terry, unblock my main account for super chats. What is your main account? Because right now, the only accounts that are blocked on the Football Terrace are spamming accounts that have all got the same picture. So no one's blocked. You're not blocked. So that's strange. But yeah, that's not done. You're not blocked. I don't know why you said that. Go on, say your piece, bruv.
Like, I was gonna say, like, I get what everyone's saying. Like, Steven Gerrard played with amazing players, but my thing about it is that the teams that he played in were never complete, like properly complete teams. There are always major deficiencies in each team.
Because they didn't have a good enough captain.
Quickly, question. I'm not even gonna ban us because that was funny, but simple question to help us understand. And you're a Liverpool fan. Everything that Steven Gerrard won in the Premier League and in the Champions League, so in England and in Europe, everything that he won as captain, was that good enough? Or even with the resources and the tools that he had, is that fair assessment of everything that he had?
Well, everything he's won for his talent.
Yeah, so one Champions
Absolutely
League.
not. He should have won more. His talent deserved more. His
So
talent
what-
deserved more. But you win stuff as a team, not as an individual.
I know you do. I know you do, Ram. I know you do. But there's one thing I'd also put on Gerrard. What's one of the biggest attributes mentally for a world-class player and a leader? Begins with D.
Drive, determination.
No,
Drive.
keep going. Begins with D. We say that Rashford doesn't have good
Decision making.
He decided not to join Chelsea. That's a bad decision.
Come on, man.
It's true.
That's
no. I have to say something. I
don't care. It's still a bad
Terry. If you were playing for Manchester United, would you leave? Would you leave? And you are the top player.
I'll answer that. You know what my answer is? Because what have I said recently about Rashford and Greenwood? What have I said on the terrace about those? I love them both.
If United don't win, they should leave. If they've got,
I implore them to leave because there's no but. Like Steven Gerrard, he is one of the best ever football players in the Premier League. I openly admit that.
Yeah.
There's a difference between being one of the best football players and having a legacy. Steven Gerrard's legacy is about him towing a club along with him, right? As a player. Gerrard won't have the same lasting legacy in the Premier League as Roy Keane, as Patrick Vieira, as KDB, as any of the John Terry, as these winning players, these winning captains, these winning stars. In Liverpool's world, he will, but it will fizzle out over time. Now, the media will push it because Liverpool, like I said it already, and actually, he should be on this list, and he ain't here. And I've got to go and add him because we've still got to talk about Jordan Henderson, because Jordan Henderson has a bigger legacy as a captain in the Premier League than Gerrard for me. Because
but hang on a minute, Terry. I'd say something here. Before when we started, hang on. Let me say something.
Do you know who said it? Do you know who said this? Who agrees with me? One of Liverpool's greatest ever legends.
Jamie Carragher, probably.
No, not even Carragher. This guy, he hates Pogba. And he said this about Pogba. Put your medals on the table. So every Liverpool fan and his dog was like, put your medals on the table, bro. Pogba isn't as good as Souness because he hasn't got the medals that Souness has got. He's in club level. Well, if that's the case, then Gerrard has an underwhelming legacy because he ain't got the medals that a lot of the other guys that we're putting in leader legends and above have got. He can't compete with him on that.
So it goes back to what I was trying to say earlier. We need to understand what's the yardstick for measuring who is a good captain and who isn't a good captain, or who is a leader legend, whatever the categories are. I need to understand the yardstick because because we are looking at medals, right? What about what they did for their teams? That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at what they do for their teams, how they play for their teams, how they motivate their team, how they inspire their team. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm not. We're talking about medals. Hang on, Danny. I just need to understand the yardstick here because it's almost like the goalpost is moving around.
Stop talking as if Liverpool weren't a big team. Liverpool.
No. That's
Liverpool were a big team. I'm tired of this narrative that Liverpool weren't one of the best teams in England when.
But that's not what I'm saying, though. No, but that's not what I'm saying.
No. When we're talking about,
you're missing my point.
No, Taddy. I actually fully get it. What I'm saying is, when we're talking about these captains and the yardstick that you keep banging on about, bro, look at all these captains. All of them win, especially the ones at the bigger clubs. So we can talk about the medals. The medals actually is a good measure to judge them. Because Terry, Roy Keane, Steve Bruce, Nemanja Vidic, Gary Neville, all were captains when their teams were winning. They played with big teams. Steven Gerrard played in a big team. It was a big team.
Can I add to that as well? They all had standout seasons. And they all, in different moments, took their team over the line in the Premier League. Steven Gerrard never did that. That's why he falters compared to those guys.
And that has to. The point is, like, I get animated about it because I'm someone who likes Tele. I'm someone who likes consistency. I use outputs as in goals and assists for strikers as an example, and medals as a yardstick in every debate ever. I don't become an eye test merchant when it served my purpose. I don't become but he was loyal when it served my purpose. I actually agree with Graham Souness on a club level is you put your medals on the table. And how I know this is I spoke with Mark Bosnich earlier on today, who is a very good Premier League goalkeeper. Great to have him on the show. Really good to talk to him. Actually, one of the most loveliest guys ever. All he kept on asking me was about my family and how my kids are and stuff. And I'm like, most of the other like footballers I've spoken to or like professionals or like celebrities that we've had on, I've only had a handful. They're just like deadpan. Don't even want to talk to you. So lovely guy. And he was like, in football, as professionals, when you're there, winning trophies is all anyone cares about. So we as fans have to listen to what the pros tell us that winning.
No, sorry, I disagree with you because there's a reason why pros argue amongst themselves. There is a reason, and that's because they have different opinions as well. There is a reason why Fabregas and Owen were arguing about whether the person that passes or the person that scores, which of them is better. The pros, but they have difference of opinion. Right, so I wouldn't necessarily agree with everything professionals say.
I'll tell you what.
Okay.
So winners, John Terry, right? I can't even quote him. I don't like him. But when Robbie Savage was giving him dirt, what did he say? I'll take it from Rio all day long and people like that, but I'm not taking it from Robbie Savage. So what you're talking about are two winners. Owen was a winner. Fabregas is a winner. They've won things. They're on the same level.
Can I ask this question before I go? Because my battery's going to die soon.
Are you familiar with Shaq and Charles Barkley? Whenever Charles Barkley talks shit to Shaq, what does Shaq say to him? Where's your ring? You don't have a ring? Don't talk to me.
Yeah,
I hear that. Sorry. My battery's going to die soon. My battery's going to die soon, so I might probably have to shoot off. But I'm just going to ask you guys this question, right? Simple question. Do you think Chelsea would have won the Premier League under Mourinho without John Terry? And do you think Liverpool would have won the Champions League without Gerrard?
On the
So-
Terry one. Oh, sorry, go on, Terry.
So look, I can answer that because I've been slamming it. I don't think Chelsea would have been as successful in that period. Switching manager. I don't think the Abramovich way would have been achievable without. Yes, that dressing room turns on managers quick, but John Terry galvanizing for the new guy. Impossible to achieve what Chelsea did in his time at Chelsea without him. Would Liverpool have won that Champions League without Gerrard? No. I think Gerrard was a captain, but we're looking at the point I'm making here is, and this is where people get lost in the debate. We're looking, and we've still got to place Henderson in this. We're looking at people, and forget the super chat to put him in here. By the way, we've had a £10 super chat to put Vidic into GOAT, so he's up there. We've got to decide on who comes out of that in a minute. The point is, Prem Champions League. Lots of Premier Leagues, but no Champions League. Lots of Prems and leagues and trophies, no Champions League. Lots of Prems, no Champions Leagues. Like, I'm looking at it along these lines of, but they all achieved more. I mean, to a degree, he never wasn't the captain at Man United, but achieved more. He won a fucking treble. Like, at the end of the day, when we get into the brass tacks, every single person on this list who's above him, barring, I know he's been put in overrated by a big super chat, right? And barring like Shearer and Hyypiä, everybody else on this list like has something that Gerrard would give his right arm for, and that's a league title. Like Shearer's got one as well. And like what Morgan, I'd put Morgan below him if I was doing this, but everyone else above him has won multiple league titles, has won or European trophies. And I just sort of feel like overall, Gerrard was a brilliant leader, but I can't put him on the same plethora as Terry. I can't put him with Keane. I can't put him with Vidic. I can't put him with Steve
Because of the medals, right?
Because the medals weigh heavy. And do you know how we know they weigh heavy? Because if we think about this as fans, what's our favorite moments of our clubs? What stands out more than anything else?
Winning finals.
Winning trophies.
Winning trophies, winning leagues. So we as fans hold it as the big accomplishment we can make. But then when we're trying to defend an individual player, we like this. Oh, but success ain't everything. Of course, it's everything. It's our best memories.
It's very.
They've all got standout seasons when their team won. So when United win 3 titles in a row, I'm not saying Roy Keane's the reason for all 3, but I can say in the 99-2000 win, his performances were significant.
When Terry won 4 or 5. They still have the best defensive record ever, where I think about 6 of them were penalties. So we conceded about 10 outfield goals in a season. And on top of that, look, when Liverpool fans always talk, like, I just hate the talk because it's so inconsistent as well. Like, they'll be celebrating moments, a 40-yard screamer against Galatasaray in the group stages or something silly like that.
Yeah,
like, let's be honest.
I hear what you guys are saying. Listen, I hear what you guys are saying. I kind of understand where you guys are coming from. I just think differently because if it's almost like everything. I know we love medals, we want to win stuff, but look at Jorginho, for instance. Jorginho now, I know you wouldn't like this, Dan. Jorginho is not the best player in Europe, but why? Because he won trophies. But is that what we're going to be using? I'm just using as an example now.
Tade,
you know,
I disagree with you. So Tade, I disagree with you.
No. It doesn't have to be about trophies, though.
Now let me explain. On a footballing level, I've always rated Jorginho the same as, again, if you.
I rate Kante more than Jorginho. I rate Kante more than Jorginho.
No, maybe you do. Michael Carrick is the most underrated central midfielder in Premier League history. His footballing ability, how he galvanized Man United, how he brought us together. He did actually replace Roy Keane, but he did it in an understated way. He gave us a different. I believe in this. You know, when one of your best players leaves, you always hear from the media. Again, the media is generally what I call key stage 1 football, right? Basic bit shit. They're like, who's your replacement going to be? You can't replace anyone really in football.
But Terry,
hang on a minute. You have to go in a new direction. Michael Carrick was the new direction, and it elevated a brand new era for Manchester United. He was so key. In fact, Michael Carrick at times was more important to Man United working than Ronaldo was. Without Michael Carrick galvanizing the defense, Ronaldo doesn't achieve what even he achieves. So pivotal, so key.
I'm trying to say,
onto Jorginho, Chelsea and Italy won what they won because of his role in midfield. He was the most important cog in that wheel.
The only thing I wanted to say is this. I think we, as fans, pundits, etc., we are drawn to trophies. And I get that. I totally know. That's the whole aim of football, win trophies. I understand that. I totally get that. All I'm trying to say now is we focus so much on that now without looking at individuals. say for instance now, based on the yardstick that's been put down now, right? If France had won that European Cup, we're not going to be talking about Jorginho. We're going to be talking about Kante. That's the point I'm trying to draw out of here. Kante is definitely going to win that best player in Europe if France had won the cup. That's all I'm trying to say.
But this is the point I think everyone.
But do you get me though?
I get you, but the point I'm trying to make is when we're talking about the best captains in the world, best captains of all time, who play for big clubs, each respectively, they all play for respectable big clubs where they were challenging on all fronts. What is then the thing to separate some of these guys where they all have great individual moments? It's what they win for their clubs. Yes, some are more likely to win more than others. However, we're not saying Gerrard should have more trophies than Roy Keane or John Terry, by the way. I even think if Gerrard had one Premier League title, even though I still wouldn't put him above Terry, there would be legitimately people putting Gerrard as number one on the list because he had less than everyone else.
Yeah.
Is that not true? So, bro, we've got to use trophies as a medal.
The way I look at it is this. I could be the best technical boxer in the world, but when I fight world-class people, if I keep getting my jaw snapped and I keep getting knocked out, I'm not the best boxer. The best boxer is the guy that wins them trophies. Do you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, trophies is the most important commodity. James here, we're going to go to the viewers soon. James says here, Michael Carrick overrated. Felt like he was on crutches whenever I saw him.
Can I ask a question? A quick one. So going by all these things you guys have said, right? I just want to play devil's advocate here. Does that mean John O'Shea is one of the best midfielders ever?
No.
I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out here because he's won how many trophies?
What you're doing there is you're taking someone who's part of the winning team, but not pivotal to the team playing. And that's the difference. Jorginho, like your point around it, if he hadn't have won the Euros and Chelsea not winning the Champions League, we wouldn't be talking about Jorginho. You're right. Because if Jorginho wasn't so good in that system that made it possible for them to win, he wouldn't have been one of the best midfielders. So it's almost what you're saying is a prerequisite of itself. Because he is so good, they win. Thus, we talk about him. If he wasn't that good at what he was doing, they wouldn't win. Thus, we wouldn't be talking about him. It's as simple as that for me. But listen, guys, I want to get down to the bare bones of this now. If Henderson wins another Premier League and Champions League, he will be the best Liverpool captain in the Premier League history. Listen, in Premier League history, Jordan Henderson is the best captain. Premier League and Champions League winner. Gerrard would swap his whole career to have what Jordan Henderson has. He would.
I don't know about that.
Yes, he would.
I don't know
yes,
about
he
that.
would. Yes, he would. You would give up every FA Cup one and League Cup one in Gerrard's era to have another Premier League, wouldn't you?
Not
that Champions League.
I didn't say Champions League. He hasn't, but it's 1 for 1 on the Champions League. If he gives up if he has what Henderson's got, he still keeps the Champions League. My point to you is, would you give up all the League Cup and FA Cups in Gerrard's era to have another Prem? Yes. So you know I'm not even being horrible. But you would. I would. Bro,
not that 2006 one. Not that 2006 one.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. No, not that 2006 one.
Yeah. Bullshit.
No, not that 2006.
I need to make some changes here to the viewers. We've got 10 minutes to go to get your super chats in to change this. I need to go through this here, right? So, Vidic is the only person left in GOAT because someone put £10 in. So that puts Phil Neville goes back down to underachieved, whatever, because someone put £10 in, put Vidic in there. That also means Keane goes into this era here. No one else can move as of now. It's going to cost right now £10 to get John Terry out of overrated. It is going to cost 20 to get Gerrard out of overrated. That is what the viewers have super chatted in and said. You have 10 minutes to make these changes or forever hold your peace.
Something that just as a general discussion as well. Look, I understand again. I know Danny was saying that I'd have Terry over Keane, and I do. Look, it's not Roy Keane, blasphemy to be the GOAT. I think Terry genuinely is the GOAT. I think one of the things I used to separate John Terry and Roy Keane is the fact that 10 out of the 19 seasons that John Terry was captain of Chelsea, I believe it was 10 out of 19. He played 30 plus games, and Keane in he only played 30 plus games in 2 seasons, Roy Keane, out of the 10 seasons he was captain at Man United. I think availability is a big thing for me as well in terms of that. And John Terry was always available. And he actually seemed to get better with age as a player and as a defender. And that was helping him be able to lead the players. And I also think when you think about it in terms of being able to rise to the occasion, someone you could turn to, John Terry was someone you could actually turn to. I know Roy Keane's impact was more being able to conduct the midfield and whatnot, but I'm even talking about output-wise. I mean, John Terry's the highest goal-scoring defender in Premier League history, and he didn't take penalties or free kicks. 39, I think 40, 39 goals, whatever. And I think that's crazy for a defender, innit? So I just personally think that John Terry has things that separate him from Roy Keane, which makes him a legitimate candidate for the GOAT. And just as a final point, if you type in leader, legend, captain on Google, just look who comes up.
I'm gonna have to run, guys. I'm sorry.
All right, bro.
This is gonna die.
I do get that as well. I want to do something because we're not going to do
I'll
Trump
see you guys later. Yeah.
Hey, top man. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. We're not going to do Trump. We're not going to do Trump cards just because we can't. There isn't the time to do it, and the super chats are coming in and everything else. But we need to place Jordan Henderson. So on this list right now, I'm going to give this to you, Ram, as a Liverpool fan. Where would you place Jordan Henderson? Where would Henderson go right now? Ladies and gentlemen, you've got 8 minutes left to make any changes you want to make. 8 minutes. And somebody super chatted in to get John Terry out. £5 now to get John Terry out of overrated. Ram, where are you placing Jordan Henderson?
There's only 4 people in leader legend, isn't it?
So you're telling me you consider Henderson a leader legend?
No. There's only 4 people. You can only have 4 people.
Yes.
I have to put him in good leader because he doesn't match up to the others. The others are colossuses.
So where would you put
up there?
Where would you put Gerrard in comparison to Henderson, considering Henderson has won 2 major trophies to Liverpool and Gerrard didn't?
I'd say I have to put him in the same category because what he did as a captain in that period, even in the really bad periods as well, he deserves a lot of credit for that. So I'd say put him in the same category. His talent, the talent that he had, he deserved more. But his loyalty is a double-edged sword. Loyalty is a double-edged sword. It can hurt you, but it can
that
also
can be true, my brother. Listen, many a man have been burnt by being loyal. We've all.
Batistuta done. Batistuta left Fiorentina to go to Roma.
He went to Roma, innit? Yeah.
And he got it. You know what, though? I just put Kompany for Gerrard. Because Kompany should have won more. Should have won more domestically. Everyone knows City had a better team than United for a few years.
Then,
win the Champions League.
But Danny, for me, Kompany is the embodiment of Man City. That's the problem.
Trailblazer.
He is Man City.
Guys,
I know Gerrard is Mr. Liverpool, but
we've had a big super chat here, people. Put Terry where he belongs. So that's 50s. He moves up, which means
somebody come with some money for Roy Keane, please.
To get John Terry out, it's at least 30. It's because it was £10 left. So it's at least from this point going to cost 40 to get him out. Dollars, whatever it may be, along those lines. Pounds, I'll accept £30 and above because inflation's crazy right now on that. Okay, but Vidic has got to drop down. So who drops? Hang on a minute here. We've had a bid come in. Move Keane to GOAT. Oh, Robbie Singer's turned up and he's moved Keane into GOAT. So he moves into GOAT. John Terry goes back down, but someone's got to drop out of Vieira, Keane, Kompany, and Tony Adams. Who drops out? One of them's got to go. People. Help me here.
Tony Adams, unfortunately.
Vidic.
No, Vidic has had money put on him. He can't come out just yet.
Okay.
Has to be Tony Adams.
Can Terry be put down, or is it?
No, John Terry's had
Tony Adams.
Tony Adams. Tony Adams has dropped down. Tony Adams has dropped down as it is right now. There is 5 minutes to go right now. Roy Keane is in the GOAT position. Robbie Singh back in his club, mate. Listen, it's. Do you know, Liverpool fans always think I hate on Steven Gerrard when I put. Oh my God, here we go.
Yes,
Damien here says no. He says no.
Yo, Robbie.
So what I need to do here, I need to just do the conversion here because I need to be fair on this. I need to be fair, okay? Canadian. just want to make sure because sometimes I did it the other day. Someone said they put £10 in and they did the conversion. It turned out to be 90p, but it looked like a £10 one. That's about 42 quid. That matches up fine. So it's going to cost at least £5. Like it's £5 or more to get Keane out. But if you want to put a book on his name, you've got to get that done. So he goes back in. He goes back in here. So let me move this around here. I'm getting confused. So John Terry goes back in. Keane is back down. It's around £5 bounty to get him out. Adams back to legend. Adam back to legend. So Adams goes back into legend and Kompany now drops out. Kompany is out. It's going to cost you 17 plus to get Adams out of that legendary category right now as it stands. £5 to get John Terry out. Oh my God, Terry, coach, he stays there. $100 has come in. $100 US dollars. $100 US dollars has come in there. That changes things significantly. Significantly.
You know what, Terry? You know what? Yeah, let's keep it real. They bought titles and now they're buying this bloody rankings.
Yeah, of course. Danny, you know how it is, bro.
Just to say very quickly, that's £75 to get John Terry out. That is £75. Of course, you're donating to the Football Terrace. You know what you're doing. You're supporting us. You're keeping us alive. You're keeping us moving. It is being reinvested because this week we had to buy more equipment to get the audio right in that studio. It's getting there. It's getting there. We've got a crew to pay for. You know what you're doing here. John Terry's in, and you have 3 minutes remaining right now. Look at the categories as it stands, people. John Terry and GOAT. He is there. You have Vieira, Vidic, Keane, Adams in the leader legend category. Still Gerrard in overrated. Liverpool fans, I don't know where they are. They're gone. They're gone. They're leaving their man. They're 3 nights running. Liverpool fans have left one of their legends to die in a category. They haven't even come back in. Terry is on 70. And I bet it was £5 on him prior. So it elevates itself up. It's 75 there to move him out. Strip bear in the house there. Terry can buy a PS5. None of this money comes to me. It goes to the business. Put Aspie in leader. £10 in there. Aspie goes up. So that means when we do this here, that means Aspie goes in and it's Patrick Vieira that drops out, Arsenal fans. But oh my God, Robbie stepped up 100.
No. What's the conversion? Hang on.
Let's have a look here. I've got to do it here. Aussie dollars. What? That's £53. That's 53. It's 20 short. It's going to cost 20. We'll round it to 20. 20 to get John Terry out. I've got to be fair because conversion rate is mad. Robbie, I appreciate it. I love it.
Robbie, we need 200 Australian dollars, man. Just clear it out. Just end the stream. Just end the stream.
Nah, we've got a minute to go. There's 1 minute remaining. Remember, if someone puts a chat in for the end, we add 20 seconds in case anyone's typing in, but there is a limit. If you miss the cutoff point, I can't help that. £20 to get John Terry out. Oh, what's going to happen towards the end here? What are the fans going to do? Keane is like this. He's like, let me in, please.
Robbie, check that balance quickly and do another super chat, please.
There we go.
I can't see Terry and go, bro.
James, listen, you super chatted tonight, my brother. Oh, here we go. Oh, my days. Terry, stop it. Oh, he's topped it up. Damien's not had it here. Hang on. I've got to work this out now. It's got very confusing. I'm going to add time on for this. So 150 Canadian dollars has come in. 150 Canadian dollars has come in here. So that is that's 86. So that's 106 to get rid of him. However, £20 came in, says Terry out, Keane in. So that takes it down back to 86. And then we've had another $100 come in, right? So that takes it down to, it's back to 26. It's 26 to get him out. And I'm putting hang on a minute. He's come in. He's just put 200 in. It's over. Oh, no, it is over. I can't see anything else happening here. Another 200 has come in. He wants John Terry to be in. That's 115. That puts it up to 1, 140 pounds is 140 pounds, and we will give 1 minute from here, and we are counting. Chelsea fans have stepped up here. They are back their football club. They are back in the football terrace, as they always do, supporting the terrace because we make the best content out there. Winter Surfer here says add in for GOAT. Sorry? I'll add for the GOAT. It's another £5 on top. That's £145. Robbie Singh.
For Chelsea fans, man.
Chelsea fans are just topping that up there. They're topping it up. They're topping it up. As we all know, this is just for fun. Champagne Chelsea. It's all for fun. It's all to donate to the football terrace and have their say. There is 30 seconds to go. 30 seconds to go, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea fans are celebrating. They're all back.
Someone
in
just put like a pity bid for Gerrard. I beg. I don't want to see him at overrated, bro. Just put him up to at least good leader.
30 seconds left to go. Damon steps up there and had his say.
Come on, Robbie. Come on, Robbie.
And there's literally, we'll get the last 20 seconds here. We're in the last 20 seconds.
You know, in the auction where you just say, yeah, it's not even worth it. It's not even worth it.
Yeah, we're in them last 10 seconds. 10, 9.
Some Bitcoins. Come on.
Hang on. We had a super chat come in from Robbie. He says, can't help it. Seems like they can buy everything like trophies. Class remains class. Listen, it is what it is. And then that is it. That is it. It remains as seen. If something comes in now, I apologize. It was too late. But as we said, you know what's funny? I was actually talking to a guy about this the other day because somebody complained to Snack Media that we take super chats for this. And I was like, bruv, you have a PayPal account for donations. You went, yeah. I said, this is literally just donations. It's just donating to the terror. In fact, if we're being blunt, if we did PayPal, we'd get every penny of it. We lose 45% to YouTube, but we keep it this way because we want to put your name up in lights and everything else. I cannot tell you from the bottom of my heart how humbling it is for me that you guys super chatting with such regularity. It really is. Winter Surface says, add another to the GOAT, Terry, and Rams Salt. Yeah,
too late, mate. Too late.
Liverpool fans have just abandoned their football club this summer. Look at it. John Terry left there in that mold. But listen, everyone who's tuned in tonight, a massive thank you to all of you. Damien is proper Chelsea. He is proper Chelsea and a proper. I don't know. We need to find a name. What can you call it? You know, like Justin Bieber's fans are called Beliebers. What could we call football terrace fans? Like Terry, Terriers, someone said to me, but I don't know if I like that.
No, because what could be the name? You're young. It's already taken, Terry. It's Huddersfield, isn't it? You can't really use it.
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch Huddersfield. So what do we reckon for the Terriers? For football terrace crew?
Terrace. Don't know.
Nah, it hasn't got a lot of ring to it. I mean, it's got a ring to it, but not like nicknames, isn't it?
Terrance. No, because Terrance, someone put Terrance. Terrance sounds
like Beyonce has the beehive. It makes sense because she's bee. Like, what do you do with terrace?
Some of the comments are mad.
I don't know. No, we're not the terrorists. I mean, in fairness, we could. No, I can't because we just get cancelled. Terrorists. I mean, look, terrorist army's cool. And I get that, and you are my army, and I love you all. Do you know what I mean? I love you massively.
You know what? The
I looked at my stats. I looked at my stats. Terminators is cool. I like that. I looked at my stats the other day for unique viewers. The one thing I say about Terrace Crew is they literally watch one video a day each, right? Because I might have like 3 videos that do like 10, 12, 15,000 views. But my unique viewers across the whole channel in one day, because they watch old videos that uploaded before, it's like 82,000. I'm like, why don't all 82,000 of you just watch a video, like 3? But the problem is, who watches 3 videos a day that are an hour and a half long each? No one can. Like, it just is what it is. But what says? I can't read that. Terra's bitches. I mean, I'm up for that. My bitches. I'm up for that. No, I can't do that because that's so disrespectful to the ladies out there. And more terroristas. Yeah,
that's all right.
That sounds posh. Terrace.
It's too posh. Yeah, it's posh.
The dead trims. Tezzers. Okay, no, I don't like that one. Terriers. I don't mind terriers. I quite like. Actually,
the Terrinators is the best one so far.
Yeah,
Terrinators. I like Terrinators. I think we can go with Terrinators. You know, my Terrinators. I like that. Which is
there's a super chat to change that. That's what we'll do.
Yeah. Terrace United is from man like Kevin. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, so literally I ended up having like a 20-minute conversation with this guy who didn't understand what super chats were, and he thought he was like, you force people to do this. I'm like, I don't force anyone to do anything. People know they're just donating to the terrace, but it's a way that their name can be up in lights. And
shout out to Kevin with the little comment there. Swap that around. That's the former name of the channel. For those who didn't know.
Yeah,
only the old people know that.
The United Terrace,
Terrace.
Yeah, we first were, the first name we had was the Devil's Bus TV, because I was like co-run a Man United London Supporters Club, and we basically hired the same minibus every week, and we called it the Devil's Bus. And I used to, one of the first fan cams ever made in the history of YouTube, we used to film the fan cams on the bus on the way home afterwards and on the way up there, and we called it the Devil's Bus. And then I couldn't be called the Devil's Bus because the guy that co-run it with me was gonna like brand that and start a business out of it. So he said, can we not use it? I said, yeah. So we went to the Devil's Terrace. And then with Devil's Terrace. And then I got bored about only talking about Man United and went to the Football Terrace. Got slagged off by every YouTuber in the world because they were like, why did you talk about one club? Now they all either talk about multiple clubs or have secondary channels that talk about multiple clubs. Just trend setting. I did the first ever football vlog for the Community Shield game, where Zaha played for Man United, Moisey's first game. That was the first ever. There wasn't a vlog ever made before that. That was the first one done. It's all good. We did the first ever watch along in the history of YouTube. No one had done one before us, and it's all good. And Hairline United, love that, bruv. But listen, as we say, we've got some new things in the Stokes in the iron, and we're moving forward, and everything else. It's gonna be good. Everybody that's OnlyFans. That is from girl named Chloe. Listen, I was thinking of starting an OnlyFans recently, and then they stopped the sexual part, so I decided that I had no point in it.
Wow.
No one, I mean, I reckon I can make some serious money selling myself sexually, because I am like I'm like do you know what I mean? I'm actually thinking of changing my name to Donny. Donny the Adonis. Do you know what I mean? Like, honestly, you see me with my shirt off.
Stop.
It's jokes. So another as well, I'm talking about personal stuff, not personal stuff. Not the most common line is used when people meet me properly for the first time. You're nothing like people told me you were. And the maddest thing is, you lot have seen me behind the scenes hundreds of times. I don't think I'm any different off camera than I am on camera.
No, you're an arsehole on camera and you're arsehole off camera.
That's actually true, but I'm consistent. Do you know what I mean? I'm consistent. Exactly. I did pay the bill in Bat and Ball. I did cover the bill in Bat and Ball. Like I did pay for everyone's food and drink. That was a big bill. Do you know what was mad? The next morning I woke up before I took KJ for his fish fingers, and I woke up and I didn't know where I was. I was that drunk that night. I didn't know where I was. And there were times we were out in Shoreditch that night, and I'd be at the bar and I'd be like, "Oh, Danny's here!" And I was like,
"You know what? That's true." I came into this bar and Terry's like, "You all right, Dan?" It was like, he said hello to me like you just seen me for the first time. Like, been with you since 8 o'clock, mate. What are you talking about?
Mate, I was so mad.
It's now 2 a.m. He's shocked to see me.
Mate, but the funny thing was, a lot of people were like, "Oh, Terry, you got so drunk that night," and I did get drunk, but I handle my drink in the sense of I was still compos mentis until 4 a.m. This is how compos mentis I was, right? If you know Stratford, I was literally I was staying in a hotel by West Ham's football ground. I wanted food, so I walked to the McDonald's in the old Stratford Mall, and it was shut. And I was really hungry for McDonald's, so I walked from Stratford to the 24-hour McDonald's in Leytonstone, got my food, and then got an Uber back. And I was still compos mentis to do it. Turned out as well, I didn't realize this, not until the next day, some old friends of mine from for years, I bumped into them in the high street in Leytonstone, was chatting for half an hour, and I was like, I had no memory of doing that, none at all. That's why I wanted to go out in Stratford though, because my old manor in it, I know it. So I feel, when you're in a place you feel safe being really drunk. Yeah. You know where you're at. It's like home in pigeon settings, but there we go. Terry and his yak. What does that mean?
Your drink's the yak.
That's Original Base Annie, made the best cake ever. I've actually met Original Base Annie. I drove to his house. I know where he lives. Does anyone want to know where Original Base Annie lives? I've got the address here. No, I'm joking. Yeah, man. There's a nice cake.
Let us know where Strip Bear lives. I think that's what everyone wants to know.
Strip Bear. I know where Strip Bear lives. I've got because Strip Bear got sent a
gift, didn't it? Yeah.
By the way, there are people that we are going to do the prize draw for the August kits. Mark Neighbour and what's her name? Maria Williams, your kits are being ordered. They just got delayed with some accounting stuff because I don't do it anymore. It's all a proper business. It's run by a team of accountants. and they're doing it all. So that's all going to be done soon. But listen, Terry, allow it. Nah, bro, I'm not going to give your address away on the internet. I'm not going to do that. Yo, Terry, I'm expecting you to release a football terrace drink. Oh, that'd be good. I mean, it might say, what, like I'm Conor McGregor? Do you know what I mean? What we call it? I'd call it proper clickbait. That's what I call it. Proper clickbait. Do you know what I mean? One of them ones. But listen, everyone who's tuning in tonight, a massive thank you to each and every single one of you. I'm back tomorrow doing some kind of content at some point. I don't know what yet. More tiering probably. What can we tier tomorrow? What should we tier tomorrow? What are you thinking?
Manager goats.
That's only,
we know the winner of that. That's boring one.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Fergie.
Nah, I meant history.
Do fullbacks.
Fullback. Okay, we can do fullbacks. Fullbacks would be good. Throw a bit of Trent Robinson in there, bit of AWB. By the way, who won Soccer Aid? Who won Soccer Aid?
I had it because I was on the stream. I didn't even check.
I
was watching it.
I don't watch
Rooney was looking old.
I think it was Rest of the World, isn't it? Yeah, it's Rest of the World.
Was it?
Yeah.
World
11, yeah. Rest of the World 11, yeah.
That's rubbish. Oh, Till's fighting tonight as well. Cool. Got a UFC night as well. Oh, good. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do our thing. 3-0. Right. Listen, everyone who's tuned in, a massive thank you to each and every single one of you. Everyone who's super chatted. As I've said, humbled. Until tomorrow, take care. Goodbye. God bless you. We'll